Hey everyone, it's Nicole here from Healthy Profit, and today I am going to go through my typical workout routine. For my workouts, I do what's called a split. So one day I'll work push exercises. When you work push exercises, you're exercising your chest, your triceps, and your shoulders. The next day I'll do a pull workout, so that's working your back and your biceps, and then the next day I'll do legs. I typically do this at the gym, but there is a great amount of exercises that you can do also in the comfort of your own home, which I will show you here. So stay tuned to see a push-pull legs workout that you can do from the comfort of your own home. Push day will work your chest, shoulders, and triceps. The diamond push-up is a bit of a more challenging variation of the regular push-up. It will work your chest muscles as well as your tricep muscles. Although this alternating side plank exercise is not focused specifically on the shoulder muscles, it is a great exercise for push day because every time you return back to that regular plank position, you want to think about pushing the floor away, so really protracting the shoulder blades. The alternating side plank is not only a great exercise for working on core stability, but it is a great exercise for the shoulders because you're working on shoulder stability here. This is an awesome shoulder burner for an at-home shoulder workout. It doesn't look overly challenging, but once you complete 15 repetitions of this, you will definitely feel your shoulders work. So this is just alternating from a downward facing dog to a tricep push-up. It's actually a yoga pose, but for those of you who do yoga, you know that this will certainly work your shoulders. For this exercise, we're combining a double leg lower with a skull crusher. A couple notes on form here. As you're lowering your legs down, you want to make sure that your back is flat on the floor or the mat that you are working on. You don't want your back to arch. That would mean that your core is not engaged. And in fact, if you have any back pain while doing this exercise, do not lower your legs down so far. In addition to that, you really want to make sure that your elbows are in a good position, so ensure that your elbows are close by your face and they are not spewing out towards the side. Next up, we have lateral raises. This exercise is going to work the deltoid muscles, which are the muscles on the side of the shoulders. And this exercise is a bit harder for me, so I'm going to use my 12-pound weights still, but I'm only going to complete 8 repetitions. If you have a lighter weight, feel free to increase the repetitions. Make sure to engage your core to avoid any kind of swinging or use of momentum. When I do push day from home, I incorporate a lot of plank variations because planks naturally will make you push because you have to push the floor away to be in a proper plank. I also want to emphasize the fact that I do not have a particular day where I work out my abs, and that is because if you are doing your push-pull legs days accurately and you are always thinking about engaging the core, you really don't need a separate day just to work your abs. As you can see here, I've incorporated it into my push day. Next up, we have tricep dips, and I'm just using my coffee table here to dip off of. This exercise, it's really easy to cheat and just use your hips to make it seem like you're dipping, but as you can see here, I'm really making it a point to bend and extend my elbows, so ensure that you are fully bending and fully extending your elbows. Our 8th and last exercise are some decline push-ups. And the reason for doing a decline push-up is that it would activate more of your upper pecs and even get into the front of the shoulders. So you will go through all 8 exercises again and again until you reach 40 minutes. Pull day is going to work your back and biceps. So first up, we have a preacher curl variation, and I like this exercise because it keeps you very honest. It's very hard to cheat doing this preacher curl. Next up, we have a bent over dumbbell reverse fly. Maintaining a flat back in this bent over position is really, really critical. So engage the core and make sure you're squeezing the abdominals tight to protect the back. So I really love this variation of a bicep curl for a home workout. You'll come up into a hammer curl, so thumb faces up, and then you'll come down into the eccentric phase of your traditional bicep curl. So palm now comes up to the ceiling. You'll slowly lower down, and that's your lengthening phase of the bicep curl. Anytime you hear the word eccentric, it basically means that you are controlling a movement pattern. So here you are completing an eccentric bicep curl on the lowering phase. And I also like this exercise because you can't cheat since the elbow is supported on the couch. Next up, we have a single arm dumbbell row. It's really important that when you are doing your push-pull legs days, you're making sure to remember that it's just as important to work single arm as it is to work double arm. So really making sure that you isolate left side versus right side to prevent any kind of compensations or overactivity of one side. And a note on form, anytime you're doing a rowing exercise, you really want to make sure that you're relaxing the shoulders down the back and you're squeezing the shoulder blades together to get that mid-back activation. And then next you have a double arm bent over dumbbell row. In this exercise, you're maintaining the same nice flat back posture that you did for the second exercise when you were doing that bent over reverse dumbbell fly, and you're still maintaining that same shoulder blade squeeze like you did for the last exercise with that single arm bent over row. And this is just another fun variation of how to work your brachialis, brachioradialis, and biceps here. When you're standing and have no support on your elbows, it's really easy to cheat and use momentum. So be sure to curl with control and engage your core. I can't stress that enough. This dumbbell shoulder extension exercise also requires an equal amount of control. The most important part of this exercise, which will engage your lats and your mid-back, is the pulling back phase. So when you pull back, you want to make sure that you're pulling back past your hips. And as you're releasing the weights come forward, try to do so with control, slowly bringing it forward. Last but not least, for pull day, you have a side plank with reverse fly variation. I like this exercise because, again, your push-pull leg days should incorporate your core within your exercises. This exercise is a perfect example of why you don't need a singular day just to work your abs. You can really incorporate your abs, your obliques, and your core throughout your push-pull legs. So just as you did for push day, you will go through these 8 pull exercises at the set amount of repetitions, and you will complete as many sets as you can until you reach about 40 minutes. Starting off leg day with simple squat. If you'd like to add weight, you certainly can. Couple key pointers for posture and form with your squat. You want your heels to maintain contact with the floor. You want your chest to stay lifted, your shoulders to relax, and your hips to sink way back. Next up, we have a split squat. Again, you can add weight if you so choose to. I love this static lunge exercise because you're working the quad of the front leg and you're working the glutes of the extended back leg. Speaking of glutes, every time you stand up tall, be sure to actively clench or squeeze that glute. Like I've mentioned so many times in this video already, if you are doing your push-pull legs days correctly, you'll have to engage your core every single day. So here I'm just adding a little bit of core, I'm adding a little bit of cardio, and I'm doing some jumping jack legs. This next curtsy squat exercise is quite the burner. You'll have to do it on a non-carpeted surface, and I love it because you are working closed chain in the front leg, which is maintaining a squat, and you are working more open chain for the other leg, which keeps going out and in, abducting and adducting. Here's another yummy glute exercise for you. So your feet can be elevated on your couch or coffee table. You will squeeze the glutes isometrically, so give a good clench, lift the hips up to the ceiling, slowly lower down. Like with any of the other leg exercise I mentioned, you can certainly add weight if you'd like to make it more challenging. Except there's a split stance Romanian deadlift, and I like this because it really focuses on one leg at a time. Again, a note on form, you really want to make sure that you have mastered the hip hinge. I have a whole YouTube video on weightlifting for lower extremities and the hip hinge, so you guys can check that out. I'll link that in the description below. But be sure that you master that hip hinge, that flat back, squeeze your core, and then really engage your glutes on the way up. Next up, we have the rainbow leg exercise. This is a variation of a Pilates exercise. So you will start by kicking one leg straight back behind you. You'll squeeze the butt cheek, and then you will bring the leg up and over the static leg. And at the time of recording this video, I've had a flare-up of my chronic wrist issue. So as you can see here, I am holding on to weights during all of these exercises where I'm weight bearing rather than putting my hands down flat on the floor, and that is just to protect my wrist. If you have wrist problems, you can certainly do the same. And the last exercise for our at-home leg day are sliding hamstring curls. So using paper plates, socks, or whatever you have to slide your heels on the non-carpeted surfaces as you keep your hips lifted. Again, you would go through all these leg exercises until you reach 40 minutes.
Berkeley and I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you got a lot of great educational content out of it. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below and I'd be happy to help you. And if you enjoyed this at-home split workout, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, A Healthy Profit, and give me a thumbs up, like this video, and share with your friends and family. Hope you guys have a great day.